Hi everyone, thanks for watching this video. My name is Nilesh Shukla. I'm a technology professional with solid experience in a lot of technology areas like SAP ERP, custom development, cloud development, data engineering, and technology leadership areas. This is first in a series of fireside chats that I intend to have with fellow technology professionals for myself to learn and share the knowledge. So that being said, today I have a dear friend of mine, Bharat Shah. He's a friend of many years. He's also a fellow technology professional with years of experience. He's a seasoned agile coach and a transformation leader. And so, thanks, brother. Thanks for joining today on this chat. So, let's get started. So, can you let us know a little bit about your professional journey on how you got to where you are today?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me. I feel like celebrity having the fireside chat with you. Uh, so let's talk about my journey. Name is Bharat Shah. I started doing a development work in the software IT consulting. So as a web developer, then team lead, tech lead, architect. One of the trigger, or I would say the change in the career path occurred when I was developing as a product owner, as a technology lead for a product for a financial client, a dashboard that will be leveraged for more than 250 plus agile teams that they had at that time. And it was later on rolled out to 400 plus teams. And during that, um, the deep dive I took in the agile lifecycle management and asking the why we are measuring this, what would be the side effect or sometime unintended side effects, led me a role offered by the same organization. Why don't you become our agile coach? And that's more than 10 years back, and that's where my journey started. And after that, I took many other roles as well, but the coaching was, or the training was part of the role since last 10 years. So that's little bit about me. Nilesh, thanks for asking.
Yeah. Thanks, Bharat. Yeah, that's really good to hear your journey. So we'll dig deeper on Agile and SAFe a little bit today. So I have always wanted to know this. Can you explain a little bit what SAFe is and how it relates to Agile methodologies? Because I've read it, but never heard from an Agile coach. So if you can shed some light on SAFe and how it relates to Agile methodologies.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a good question. And many times people may interpret that differently. So instead of talking about the technical terms of the framework, I will lay out how I perceived and how I leverage, right, in my journey as well and connect few dots. So there are technical things in terms of lean agile principles, agile manifesto, right? All that is it's built upon. It's a scaling framework. So that's number one. It's how you scale. That's what the problem statement is trying to address. That's number one. More importantly, for me, the way I see SAFe and how it evolved is in many organizations, product teams or a product function capability, whatever you want to label it, uh, prefer or do lean ways of working or lean startup became famous by Eric Ries's work and Steve Blank's work on the lean startup side. Some organizations that during my consulting, we have seen their design function or capability wants to do design thinking, whether it's a D School of Stanford or a double diamond design by British Council, some form of design thinking. And agile, right? At least the delivery execution aspect who wants to do agile. How all those different, would say, methodology or a framework or a model, right? Again, you can label what you want to label it. It's used differently in the industry, unfortunately. So how all of that comes together in a single framework, that's where I see scaled agile science. So that's how I describe that, if you want to do lean, agile, DevOps, you design thinking and scale it, your agile delivery execution, that equates to scaled agile framework.
Thanks. Yeah, but that was very enlightening. I mean, my understanding was SAFe is just another way of delivery, but I think that it is more than that. So, yeah, thanks for that answer. It was really helpful. So, with that, can you explain different components within SAFe and mainly from software development perspective? What are those?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the key things, and I will say key competencies in scaled agile framework, right? Uh, is first of all value stream and what it is. It's not a new concept, just like what I mentioned earlier, agile manifesto, lean agile principles, not new. Scrum, not new, right? Similarly, value stream, not new. What scaled agile focusing on is development value stream. And that's important from the SDLC perspective, that what's my flow of value looks like, what are the bottlenecks that I can find if I do value stream mapping, and that helps. So that's number one. Number two, which is crucial, is a flow-based system. And flow-based system to enable the flow from top to down or from left to right, right? So top to down, meaning your strategy connects to the all levels of the execution all the way to the team. And that involves all the levels. Similarly, left to right, just like the SDLC or the value stream, horizontally, how you enable the flow. So that's the flow-based system. That's the another important thing to keep in mind. The third one is the feedback, right? How do I enable faster feedback loops? And that's important part of the framework. And last but not least is all of that is meaningless or not that much of the value if we cannot measure, learn, from those data points and continuously improve. So how you continuously improve, how you build that culture for relentless improvement, that's the another key competency as part of the broader framework. So that's how I describe. There are other way to mention, we do PI planning or we do art construct, which is important, right? How you organize around value, what are the specific practices that you employ. But the broader thing are those 4, 5 things that I highlighted.
Yeah, no, I think this is really awesome, Bharat. Yeah, because as a leader, I think we need to know what those higher, broader constructs are. So, yeah, thanks for sharing those. So,
Absolutely.
with that, Bharat, what are some of the major roles or personas involved in SAFe framework implementation that an enterprise must have for to be successful in achieving the goals of digital transformation?
Oh, that's a great question. And it can be answered different ways. One way is SAFe is flexible framework. It comes in 4 different configuration, right? And based on the complexity or the scaling complexity that your organization have, you may see different roles. So that's one thing that I want to call it out. The another way of looking at it is how you structure and create composition of your teams. And that's where it's important to keep in mind that if we bring the product or customer representation, usually that's to the product management function, and that represent business as well in many organizations. The second is the design or the desirability aspect of how the customer wants our product or solutions. So representation from the design organization, and a representation from development, engineering or IT. That's important, right? So those three are the core, and how you manage, right, the match based on the type of the product or the life cycle of your product, that depends on the topology design for the other roles. So that's core. In addition to that, as I mentioned, the complexity of your organization or your digital transformation, you may have additional roles for coordination, additional roles to do the having the shared resources, right? So that's not going away, and that's where other roles, as the complexity of your organization may needed in part of the safe implementation.
Yeah, but I think that's really crucial. I mean, customer design and delivery, I think are the three main pillars, and then you can build around it depending on complexity. So, yeah,
Exactly.
thanks for sharing that. So, but I want to keep the conversation today short. I know we scratched the surface of safe, agile, and then we'll do a little bit more in future. But can you recommend like a book or a resource that people who listen to this fireside chat can take away from this and can use it for their successful journey on the safe digital transformation?
Absolutely. Actually, couple of books comes to my mind. I will share. The one of the best book, or my favorite at least, I let me search it here, is The Principles of Product Development Flow by Donald Reinerson. Not sure whether you able to see
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
That's the best one, that my favorite, right? It has 175 principles for the new product development, and it's just amazing. You will see not only scaled agile framework, but many other methodologies slash frameworks slash conceptual models out there, right? Based on these principles. So that's one. SAFe recently published a SAFe Explained ebook, which is available. Less than 30 pages, excellent resource. So I highly recommend that one. And third but not least, the talking about the role, the previous topic, right? Your SAFe practice consultant, or SPC, the coach at the different levels of your transformation, right? For SPCs, I highly recommend going through the scaledagileFramework.com. Click on the SPC icon on the bottom, and you will see all the other resources available to you.
I thought you were going to recommend, in addition to all these, a TikTok channel as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Someday we will work on
Someday.
it.
But yeah, so there are good resources, Bharat. Definitely leverage that book, Product Development Flow. I think that sounds something that I need to read up on and bulk up on. But yeah, Bharat, so thanks very much for joining today, sharing your thoughts on safe, agile. I think it was enlightening to me. I'm hoping the watchers of this video also learned from this, gained something out of this. Um, so yeah, thanks again, Bharat. I truly appreciate you spending time with me.
Absolutely. Same. We can have another one later. And thanks for having me. I am sure others will find this informative.
All right, we'll schedule one more soon. Thank you. Thanks, Bharat.
All right. Thanks. Bye.